Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in the absolute, the chaos, the madness, bruv, that is 2020, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. I feel like I've got a hangover from last night's game. Of course, I'm talking about our exit out of the Carabao Cup, a 2-0 loss at home to Burnley. I'm not going to talk about that game because I can't be fucking bothered, if I'm honest, and it was painful to watch and it'll be too painful to relive. But it feels like it's giving me a little bit of a hangover, a little bit of a football hangover. I wasn't even drinking last night, but it's put me on a little bit of a downer about everything, which a couple of things I'll delve into. The Lee Gregory social media post, which again got a little bit fruity last night. But of course, first off, this is your pre-match prediction for Saturday's home game against Brentford at the Den. And as always, let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that Gary the Gaffer might pick to start the match. So I've officially given up on telling you what team I would pick because it's pointless, because he's not going to pick it. He did change the formation last night. It didn't work any better than having three at the back. We're just completely devoid of any ideas. Of course, we wake up to the news this morning that Troy Parrott is now re-injured. A fresh injury. I'm not going to say I disagree with that, in fear of getting in trouble, but I just don't think he was fit to start with, to be honest. And I could see, and I mentioned it on my live stream, that about 5 minutes into the game, he was limping. So I don't know if he's had a kick or whether they try to rush him back, but we'll go with the official party line, which is he's got a kick during the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game. And as a result, he is now not going to be playing. I think we're going to struggle to get game time out of Troy Parrott. And if I'm honest, I think if his injury problems persist, Spurs will just have him back and cancel the loan. It's not his fault, but I don't think it's fair on him to pin so much hope on it. And I've been guilty of it. I've done it. But he's 18, 19 years old. If he come into our side and scored 35, 40 goals a season, he wouldn't come to our side. He would be, being and around, probably the Spurs team. But he's not at that stage, and I think we're expecting him to come and score 20, 30 goals. I think he's going to be a big part player for us, if I'm honest. It's starting to dawn upon me that could be the situation with Parrott. So as a result, last night, I delved into, let's bring Lee Gregory home. And again, for those saying, keep going on about this fucking Malumbi thing, let's bring Malumbi home. Well, one, it's not his home, and for two, he's a central midfielder. We desperately need a striker. We don't even need a striker now that's going to score us goals, because, by the way, we could have Jamie Vardy up front and we wouldn't score any goals because he doesn't get any service. That's why Tom Bradshaw doesn't score any goals. That's why Bavarsson doesn't score any goals. That's why the only goals we ever score are crosses in that Matt Smith beats everyone to, because, the laws of gravity, if you like, he's the tallest one on the pitch, so he gets his head on things first. That's our only outlet. That's our only option of scoring a goal. And it's going to remain that way unless the players in behind the strikers start firing. If we play two central midfielders and they both sit too deep, or one sits too deep, that's our game absolutely kiboshed from day one, from minute one. But there is a way out of this, and it is by playing that 10. Troy Parrott shouldn't have been playing in that 10 last night. Jed has got to play in that 10, or Mahoney, or Bennett. But what all three of those have got to do is not be big part players, not be blowing hot and cold players. They've got to be pivotal players for us, big players, consistent players. And I just can't see it happening. Honestly, I don't want to be defeatist early on. I know we've got 4 points from 2 league games, but let's be honest, we've not played two of the greatest sides in the world, and there's not been any good performances from us this season. It's all been shocking, if I'm honest. And I try and water it down sometimes, but I'm just got to be honest and tell you how I feel. Last night was horrendous. I don't think things are going to improve. But I think bringing Lee Gregory back, he understands the club, he understands the fan base. He's not playing for Stoke. And people go, well, he can't get his Stoke side. Neither could Ryan Woods. Ryan Woods clearly better than the majority of the Stoke team. Lee Gregory would come back. There's the Lee Gregory police right now. Lee Gregory would come back and he would do a job for us, because what he does is he works hard. He's an experienced striker. He holds the ball up. He'll drop a little bit deeper. He'll link others into play. I'm not saying he'd score hundreds of goals. He wouldn't, because we know he did it in League One. He didn't score as many in the Championship. But again, that was due to service, a severe lack of service, severe lack of interesting and exciting football being played at our club across the board, under Rowett and under Neil Harris. Who remembers the games when we used to create fucking 10 chances, score a few goals? That doesn't happen anymore. We score one goal at best. We score one goal at best in league matches. It's painful to watch. It's grueling to watch. I don't know whether Rowett just can't get what he wants out of the players, but we've just got absolutely zero ideas going forward. Zero. Not even one. We've got one. It's crosses into the box. So I think by bringing Lee Gregory back to the club, that would at least give us an experienced striker that we can rely on up front, that the players will still know and feel comfortable with playing with. It's just a no-brainer for me. Bring him back, because we can't rely on Troy Parrott. We can't rely on John Daddy Bavassa. We can't rely on Bradshaw. We can rely on Matt Smith to score a few goals, but I think our main man should be Gregory. And I said he won't score loads of goals. We know that, but no one would in our side. Jamie Vardy wouldn't score loads of goals in our side. You could get Alan Shearer out of retirement. He wouldn't score loads of goals in our side because they don't get any opportunities to shoot a goal. They have to do a lot of work themselves, and Lee Gregory can do that work. Off the ball, running channels, getting into good areas, tracking back, linking in the midfield with the strikers. I think it's a very good option for us. I think it's one of the few limited options we have in the short space of time we've got to sort it. So I've completely veered off the point, but I just had to get that off my chest. But it does all sort of lead into Gary Rowett's starting 11 for this Saturday. What do I think it will be? I think it will be Barkowski in goal, Marlon Romeo right back, Scott Malone left wing back. I think it will be 3 centre backs of Alex Pearce, Jake Cooper and Sean Hutchinson. Then I think it will be a central midfield 2 of Ryan Woods and Ryan Leonard. And then up front, I think you'll see Matt Smith central, Jeb Wallace on one side and probably Mason Bennett on the other. Will that work out for us? No. Will Mahoney play? Don't think so. Did he play well last night? No. Did anyone? No. Yeah. We rested a lot of players last night, by the way, as well. And I thought that was common knowledge. That's what you do during the league games. You play your best side in the league and you play your second string, or players that are coming back from injury, or players that are trying to impose themselves on the first 11 in the cup matches. That's why Jake Cooper got a rest last night. I had people text me saying, Jake Cooper's been sold to Aston Villa. No, he hadn't. He'd just been played about 140 games straight, so he'd been given a rest. No Jake Cooper last night. No Ryan Woods starting the match. No Scott Malone involved. There was others. You can even count Ryan Leonard in that first team regular now. So, yeah, no Jeb Wallace also. But you get the gist of it. Yeah, I'm really frustrated and pissed off. And if that's coming across, then I'm sorry, but it's how I feel. So it's only fair that I'm true to my feelings and giving my opinions on this channel. But we are struggling, in my opinion. I'm going to say it early. We're struggling. And I hope I'm wrong, but I can't see things going much better on Saturday. So let's move on to our opposition. It is, of course, Brentford, managed by Thomas Frank. They lost, if you didn't know, in the playoff final last season to their West London neighbours, Fulham. I was expecting them to win the game. I was expecting them to be promoted. I thought they was the best team in this division last year, Leeds aside. And now they didn't go up, I don't know. But they haven't gone up, so you can only go by what's happened. They remain in the division. They've lost their main man, of course, Ollie Watkins, sold to Aston Villa for well over £27 million. And in the other direction, Ivan Toney joins the club from Peterborough in a fee believed to be rising to around £10 million, depending on appearances. So they've lost their main man, but they're going to have big hopes on Toney. Is he as good as Ollie Watkins? Absolutely not. Does he have the potential to be? Well, looking by Brentford's recruitment in the past, possibly. They have played 2 league games this season. In the opening day of the season, they lost 1-0 at Birmingham. But last time out, they rectified things in their brand spanking new stadium, the Brentford Community Stadium, and beat Huddersfield by 3-0. And I think they'll be coming to the Den very, very confident. Should they be? No, because we've been back in the Championship now 4 seasons. And for the previous 3 seasons we played them, 2017, 2018, beat them 1-0 with a George Savile winner in the first minute. 18-19 drew 1-1 with a Lee Gregory goal. And 19-20 last season, of course, Aidan O'Brien got the winner for us. So they only scored 1 goal and have gone away with only 1 point in 3 seasons at the Den. At the Brentford Stadium, it's a little bit of a different story, but this game is at the Den. So they'll be coming to the Den with not a great track record, but they'll be looking to set that straight on Saturday in South Bermondsey. So this is your pre-match prediction. And here we go. We're going to lose the game by 3-0. There you go. Possibly 3-1 if we can manage to muster a chance from open play, which I don't think we will. It'll be a corner or a set piece if we manage to do anything. I think we're going to lose the game 3-0, if I'm honest. I think we're struggling. I've got to come out and say it now. I can't keep watering it down. You may think I'm a lunatic because we've got 4 points from 2 league games. Rotherham were a bad side, and we made them, they were still as good as us, if not better on the day. We got a win through a lucky goal. And it's just, Stoke was just a nothing game, a very flat, very nothing game. Do I sympathise with the players because we haven't got the crowd there? Not really. Not really. Everyone else has got to deal with it. And if anything, if you're a little bit of a nervy player, which you shouldn't be signing for Millwall for one, but if you are, then you've got this cushion here of no pressure from the fans. So for all those saying we should be we're struggling because we've got no fans, it should in fact make the players' performances a little bit better because no one needs a hostile den crowd on their back, and they've got the glory of that at the minute. So yeah, we're going to lose the game by 3-0 in my opinion. I can just see a little bit of a capitulation on Saturday at the Den and a little bit of meltdown after on social media. But I will be doing a watch-along regardless. Last night's watch-along got over 7,000 views so far, so they're going well. I just want a little bit of excitement for me £10 from my follow. I don't care if it's 0-0, but we hit the crossbar twice, get 2 players sent off. There's a 22-man brawl, there's tackles flying in, a penalty save. I don't mind that, but there's got to be something in the game. I did a live stream for 2 hours and 30 minutes last night, and I don't know how the fuck I managed it because nothing happened. Not in the positive sense for us, for Millwall. It was shit, and it's starting to frustrate me watching it. And I think you can tell that I've got the ump. But there you go. That is my honest opinion. 3-0 loss. So that's your lot for this pre-match prediction. I bet you're over the fucking moon you bothered to watch this. Don't be shy to check out the fan score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more positive than I've been, but honestly I can't see it. Their video's gone out in and around this one, and if you think you know what the score's going to be, do not be shy to put it in the comments below. I'll see you Saturday morning / afternoon, early afternoon, for a live stream watch-along. Millwall versus Brentford at the Den. I can't wait. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.